this material energy. You say, what is the big deal? It is all mithya. Sri Krishna says, no matter how much you keep saying mithya, you will not be able to cross over Maya. The biggest yogis, munis, rishis, tapasvis, they will all fail. Because if you can defeat Maya, it means you can defeat God. It is God's energy. Now, who can overcome God? He is Ajit. You carry on, try different sadhanas. Nothing will work. Ultimately, you will have to admit defeat. I am still in Maya. Hence, the only way is to receive God's grace. So what to do? Arjun, just surrender to me and I will take you across Maya. दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां ते. Translation: My divine energy Maya, consisting of the three modes of nature, is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me cross over it easily. After all that jnana, he is now giving us the action point. Surrender. Maya is difficult to overcome. The example I like to give is of a dog. Ramesh went to meet his friend Dinesh. And Dinesh had a pet dog called Smokey. So, Smokey was a ferocious dog. Dinesh had on his board a sign, beware of dog. So Ramesh did not notice that sign. He just came and nonchalantly he was opening the gate when he heard growling sound. Grrr. My God, where did the sound come from? Is it thunder but there are no clouds in the sky? Grrr. Oh my God, this demon! So looking at his gnarling teeth, Ramesh quickly shut the gate and said, my God, how did I go and meet Dinesh? Maybe there's a back door, let me see. He went to the back door and Smokey had come there also. Grr, do you have the guts? I said, no, Baba, I don't have the guts. So this dog is unpassable. Now what to do? His friend is inside. So Ramesh then takes help of his friend. And he says, Arey bhai, Dinesh! And Dinesh comes out. And he sees, oh, my Smokey is troubling him. Hey, Smokey, come here. Now when Smokey's master called him, Smokey came and sat down by Dinesh's side, wagging his tail. He was neutralized. So Ramesh came in boldly. There's nothing to worry about. Like that dog was unpassable without help of the master, likewise this material energy. You say, what is the big deal? It is all mithya. Sri Krishna says, no matter how much you keep saying mithya, you will not be able to cross over Maya. The biggest yogis, munis, rishis, tapasvis, they will all fail. Because if you can defeat Maya, it means you can defeat God. It is God's energy. Now, who can overcome God? He is Ajit. Hence, the only way is to receive God's grace. Tat kripayaiva kevalam. We need grace to overcome Maya. So, in the first line of this verse, Kripaluji Maharaj considers this verse to be an atomic verse, one of the most important verses of the Bhagavad Gita. The 14th verse of the 7th chapter, he says, one of the most important verses. The first line, Sri Krishna is giving the problem that Maya is unsurmountable. You carry on, try different sadhanas. Nothing will work. Ultimately, you'll have to admit defeat. I'm still in Maya. So what to do? In the second line, he is given the solution. Mam evaye prapadyante mayam etan tarantite. Arjun, you just surrender to me and I will take you across Maya. I will indicate, hey Maya, this soul has become mine. Release him. Maya says, when my Malik has indicated to me, all right, let me release. Maya says, my job was only this much. Keep on troubling the soul until it surrenders to God. So the way to get out of this material puzzle is to take Sharanagati at the feet of the Lord. This is the conclusion of this verse. And this is an important piece of knowledge. One soul fights with God. He says, my Lord, should I tell my mind to you? Sri Krishna said, go ahead. Maharaj, you will not like it. Sri Krishna said, I am used to it. Because he's sitting in our hearts. And we can't keep on complaining. Why did you not do this? Why did you not do that? And Sri Krishna is hearing everything. So he says, I am used to it. What is your complaint? Go ahead and tell me. So the soul says, Api garta mukhe gata shishuhu pathikena api nivaryate javad janakena patan bhavarnavena nivaryo bhavata katham vibho. My Lord, in the world, if a little infant child is fallen into a ditch, and there's a passerby who sees the child crying, any passerby is moved to pity. Oh, lifts the child. Where are the parents? Tries to locate the parents. If they are not traceable, then they take the child into an orphanage or deposit in a police station or adopt the child yourself. But there you will rarely, I say never find a human being who will say, all right, go die, I'm throwing you back in the ditch. Sri Krishna, this much of kindness even the human heart possesses. Sri Krishna said, I admit human beings do have some goodness in them. What are you trying to say? Maharaj, like that innocent infant, we are your children. And we are fallen in this ditch of material existence. And we are also crying out. We are in ignorance, we are unhappy, we are getting knocked by the waves of Maya, is your Maya. And you are well aware of our problems, but you are not bestowing your grace. One glance of your grace, all problems would have been solved. What kind of God are you? And you have said in the Vedas, you are our father. Amritasya vai putra. All the souls are my little children. So what kind of father are you, Maharaj? And don't tell me, oh soul, you come to my door, I'll grace you. because I don't know the way to your door. I admit I'm in ignorance. But you don't have any alibi because you are all knowing. So, what is the reason you are not gracing me? The soul has leveled this accusation at God. Now, Sri Krishna answers, O soul, you have said such big, big things that I am your father, I am not gracing you. Do you know? My question to you is, do you actually believe that I am your father? Simple question. You say, today one girl came and gave a shloka, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva. So, soul, you go into the mandir and you say, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva. Do you actually believe that I am your father? Where do you believe? Hey, you're my father 2%. My real father is in the world. I've got a share in his property. I will get it later on. So you don't even have the faith that I am your father and you asking for grace. So do you know that when I grace you, I will give you my divine love, my divine knowledge and my divine bliss. So when I give you all these divine things, what will I take from you in return? The soul says, I don't know. Then understand what is it that I give and what is it I take. So, all right, Maharaj, let me hear from you. So he says in the Vedas, Todasyeva sharanam amahasya. You surrender to me and I will grace you. That point of surrender is what has come here. So the soul says, okay, Maharaj, now I understand. I need to surrender to you? Yes. Only then you will grace me. Yes. But is it possible that I don't surrender to you and still you grace me? So God says, what do you mean? I mean, these rules and all, they are not for you. Rules are for us unfortunate souls. Follow the tax laws and follow these laws, the state laws. You are God, supremely independent. You do what you like. They are not surrendered, still I'll grace them. Sri Krishna says, no. Everybody goes by rules. Just like there are rules for your body. Yuktahar, don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Follow the rules, then you will stay healthy. And if you break them, the health will deteriorate. The celestial bodies are following rules. Likewise, God says, I also follow rules. My own rules, but I follow them. Just because I am God doesn't mean I do whatever I like. I have got a rule. Karma pradhana vishva kari rakha. The law of karma. I never break it. Dashrath was my father. He died. Kaushalya became widow. I did not interfere. Kaushalya could have said that Ram is my child and I am becoming a widow. Come on, save my husband. Ram says, no, it's not some household affair that the judge has become your son, so there will be lenience. This will be decided in the court, whoever has got whatever in their account. So God says that if I break the rules and grace you without surrender, then the basis of rationality in the world will be destroyed. And why so? There were two sons of a father. It was the paddy sowing season, and the father instructed them both, go and work in the field. All day long it's important to plant the paddy by night time. So one of them, the elder one, worked from morning till night. And when he returned, the father said, well done, my child. You have worked hard. Here is $500. Go do what you like. And the other child did nothing. He just kept lying in bed and he kept on abusing his father and drinking, smoking, etc. Now at night time, if the father says, Chalo, you have been a bad child, but I am a good father. So I'll give you $500 in any case. Go and do what you like. I should be a good father. If he gives him $500, what will happen? The first son's faith in hard work, in dedication will break. He'll say, my father's reward policy is defective. I worked from morning till night and I got $500. My brother did nothing. He also got $500. If my father does not respect dedication, commitment, surrender, then why should I do it? Tomorrow I'll also do nothing. I will also sit and smoke and drink and lie on the bed. I'll get the $500 in any case. Like one of the biggest problems in India was, after gaining independence, Jawaharlal Nehru introduced all these public enterprises, government-run organizations. So various steel plants, electric plants, etc., all run by the government. And they were all time-bound promotions. So when they were time-bound promotions, nobody was working. So every Indian knows that nothing happens in the office, in the government office. Because they come little 1 hour late, and then by the time it's tea break, and then by the time they finish tea, it's lunch break, etc., and then it's time to wind up and pack up. And the same Indians, they come out here to the US. And I've heard from people, these Indians and Chinese have spoiled the culture. They work so hard. They're complaining they work so hard. So why don't they work hard in India? Because it doesn't make a difference, Doesn't make a difference. There's one person in Houston, he retired at the age of 60 and he joined the government. And he said, Swamiji, even in USA, government jobs are exactly like Indian government jobs. Now, it may have been his personal experience, but the point is that if there are no consequences for actions, then there is no incentive to improve. So God says that if without your surrender I grace you, all the saints will complain, Maharaj, what is this? We strived for so many lifetimes, and then we perfected our surrender and received your grace. Janmantara sahasreshu tapo dhyana samadhi. And you gave grace to this soul in free fund. What was the meaning of our surrender? God says that the basis of creation is, as you surrender, I reciprocate accordingly. You want my grace? Yes, Maharaj, please grace me. Surrender. No, I don't want your grace. Don't surrender. No, I want the grace, but I don't want to surrender. Bhagavan says, this kind of ghapad-shapad will not work in my dominion. You decide, you surrender, and I will grace you.